Welcome back to the podcast, the JP Show podcast, where we do reviews and, I give my take on films that I've watched, films I like. And we just here to, shoot the shit, talk shit. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And participate. Put your thoughts, comments, all of that. Put your thoughts in the comments, all of that. Today's episode, it may be a quick one, it may be a long one. I'm not sure, but if you follow me on social media, King Chaos 2.0. Also, you'll see my social media links in the description. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most overrated, hyped up movies ever. The Notebook. Seriously, one of the most overrated romance films ever. I'm gonna say this so I'm clear. The Notebook is not a bad movie at all. It's a good movie. Entertaining, and it's but for years up until this point. Hold on.
Power off.
Up until this point, I've heard since this movie came out in 2004. From the time this movie came out, how old was I in 2004? $13 years old. I'm 31. From the time this movie came out, it is literally everybody, mostly women, have told me this is the greatest romance movie ever. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not even a little bit. The greatest? Like, we be throwing these words like GOAT, greatest. Like, stop throwing these words around. Seriously, stop throwing these words around. It's the greatest romance movie of all time. Bruh. No, it's not. I want to repeat myself. Good movie. Good movie. Not bad. Not even a bad story. Great performances. Great script. All these things are good. It's just, who are these people? Who are these women that told me this is the greatest? I literally sat there. I'm just like, all right. Like, I just watched this movie for the first time, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, yo, I'm not moved. I'm not feeling it. And it's not because I'm a guy and all this other stuff. I love me a good romance. I like real life romance. I'm a sucker for all of that. This movie did none of that. None of it. Like, it was like I said, it was a great watch. I was entertained, but I'm just like, where's the riveting, moving piece? Like, no chords were struck. None. Like, and I really sat there with an open mind. But before I get into my rant and the question, like the topic question, let me just review this movie. So it came out in 2004. Starring Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. All right, let me just be quick about it, because everyone seems to have seen this movie except me, and I'm an idiot. I'm the idiot for like not seeing it or whatever, bruh. These two young kids in the 1940s, one's from the South, blue collar. You could call them poor if you want to. Rachel McAdams' character comes from money. They have this summer fling, summer romance. They fall in love. all this other stuff. The mother finds out, what? You running around with this poor boy and all this other stuff, and we're preparing you for to maintain what we've built, this family has built. I'm putting you into piano, and you learning like 2-3 languages, and you going to the top schools and all this other stuff, and all this other, like, you're supposed to marry money. Money's supposed to marry money. And who is this poor broke dude working at a lumberyard and all this other stuff? So the mother and the father found out all this stuff. And yeah, it was just like, obviously, young love, rebellion, and but they were kids, they were like 17 or whatever, and once they found out, like, yo, like, she's in love and all this other stuff, they were like, nah, we moving, we're going back to New York because you're bugging, you're wilding. The war breaks out. He's drafted into the war, and then they're now adults in their 20s. I think when he came back from the war, I think his dad acquired the house, or sold the house so he could acquire the house that he's always wanted, some plantation in the South. Saying, wherever, some old plantation house that he was like, I'm gonna build this house, and it's falling apart, but I'm gonna build it, and all this other stuff. And I think he had went back, and she was in town, and her fiance that she had met, because I think she was a nurse. Yeah, she was a nurse while he was at war. When she was working in the infirmary, she had met her fiance. It's played by James Marsden, the guy from Cyclops from the old X-Men movies. Great actor too. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything was good. Let me just finish this damn review. And they go back to down there. He comes for money. He proposes. They're in love. And at some point, he was like, going back to Ryan Gosling's character, was on a bus. He's seen her. She goes into the restaurant, and he sees Rachel McAdams kiss her fiance. He's hurt. Then he's like dedicating himself to build this house and finish the house. He becomes an alcoholic. He's all depressed. He's all butthurt about this woman or whatever. Important thing that I missed. Before her parents found out about their romance, and she was like, oh no, like, we got to send her back to New York. He wrote to her for 365 days. So he wrote 365 letters. We're hoping that she'd respond, letting her know, like, it wasn't over. And they had broken up, young kids just acting in the moment. But she never wrote back because the mother was stealing the letters. Cut to, they're grown. He's building the house. He's an alcoholic. He got him a little side piece from the other town coming through, And, like, I think one of the turning points is she's getting ready to get married. She's doing her dress fitting. And it's, she's a socialite, right? So it's just like, there's media, there's all these things. And her mom hands her the newspaper. She opens the newspaper and sees that an article was written on Ryan Gosling's character, that he finished some house and it's up for sale or whatever. And she passes out. So she goes to see him and pretty much proceeds to cheat on her fiance. There's resistance and all of this. Again, it's relatable. Some of us have been in these positions or moments or these situations. Some of us haven't, but we understand it. And I'm going to tell you why we understand it. And it's so freaking familiar, whether you've been through it or not. But yeah, it's just like, oh, hi, how are you doing? I just wanted to see how you were doing and check in. And, oh, cool. You know what? You want to come inside? You want to eat some dinner? Like, you want something to drink or whatever? There's resistance. And she continues, like, I think her husband's like going back and forth between the whatever state they was in New York or whatever. He was a stockbroker, whatever he was doing. She's basically like cheating on him, and just like, Ryan Gosling is just, being in love and showing her the moves, and I'm gonna take you down the swamp and there's swans and it's beautiful, and the big riveting moment, the big scene where it's just like they roll back. She's like, oh, it's about to rain. Then they're in a boat and they're rowing the boat and it starts to rain. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, oh my God. She finally asked him, because they've been fucking dancing around the shit. Why didn't you write me? And he was like, I wrote you every day. I was letting you know it wasn't over. He's like, it wasn't over for me. And they're like, it's still not over. And then he grabs her and kisses her and he just proceeds to take her into the house. And, they're kissing and they're getting undressed, but they still kissing at the same time. And he's walking up the steps with his pants at his ankles because ain't no way he tripping. He holding her the entire time, by the way. And they about to just really get it on and popping because they in love and it's all of that and it's all it is. Cool. And, the mother finds out her husband, not now her husband, but her fiance is like, where the fuck is my woman, bruh? Like, what the fuck going on? The mother's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the mother go down there, goes to get her. Like, yo, like, what's up? I got to take you back. Like, you're bugging. You're wilding. And her and the mom had like this moment, and the mom is like, oh, I had a summer fling once, but I love your father. I love your father. But you see that man who also works at a fucking lumber yard? I loved him. I had a thing. But I just, and I just thought about the future and whatever the fuck ever. And that's what happens. Now, how the story begins. Because I'm all over the place because I'm really fucking frustrated by this. Not by the movie, but by the way this movie is fucking just hyped. And I'm just... So this dude is like, so how it starts is this old ass dude is reading to this old ass lady with dementia, and he's like telling this like story about these two people in love, and then you find out that the old people, there are the characters. They're Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling, and Rachel McAdams has dementia, and he's like, I'm fighting for my woman and the woman I love. They done had kids and a family before the end, before they even, you know what I'm saying? Before we even get to that point, they show that. So I know they're going to end up together, even though they haven't even fucking solved all of that shit yet. Before the kiss, before all of that shit don't even get solved yet. That shit don't even get, like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And, we find that out, and everyone's like, yo, and the doctors and the nurses, they was like, yo, man, I don't know if she's going to remember this, man. I understand, like, y'all were a beautiful couple, and it's just, y'all represent love, but, I don't know, man. And he's like, no, I'm not giving up hope. I know, I believe in miracles. And she's like slowly like starting to remember stuff. And, again, I feel good. I do. Like, I'm really feeling good. I'm feeling hopeful. And then, going back to when the mother found out and it was just like, oh, I love this man, but I chose your father and da-da-da. And she was like, well, Ma, I don't want that for myself. I want to be with somebody that I'm madly in love with for the rest of my life. And I don't have this really unexplainable connection that I have with this person. I don't want to sacrifice that for money or for status or for these things. And long story short, they end up together. Then there's a scene where the two old, the older versions of them, she's like, get away from me. I don't remember you. And like, he's like crying and he's hurt because the nurses and the doctors are trying to contain her. And he's like, he doesn't he's upset that he can't recognize his wife in the moment. And she literally cannot recognize who her husband is in this moment. And, yeah. And then she does remember. And then they pretty much, long story short, he goes into bed with her. They're holding hands and they're just like, they have a conversation. And then the movie ends where they died in bed together, and it was just a beautiful ending where they ended up like, that one moment, that one thing of just like, I love you, blah, 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 and I remember, but whatever, fuck ever. And they die, and that's the end of the movie, and it's a beautiful story. Nicholas Sparks wrote it. All these things. It's beautiful. Now that we've reviewed the movie, I got some shit to get up off my chest. Going back to what I was saying earlier, who in their right fucking mind, like, great story, great movie, greatest, Bro, this movie was predictable. It was basic, predictable, and not saying it wasn't good, but I'm saying these words and they're coming off harsh because you said it was, you brought it to some crazy ass standard. And you out there in the culture said, yo, this is the greatest romance. White women, Latino women, black women, 15, like what year is it? It's 2022, 2000. I can't even do the math right now because I'm so frustrated. But someone please explain to me what, like, tell me how this movie is up there with Casablanca. Tell me how this movie, bro. I'm not even gonna go into the black and whites. I'm not even gonna go into the old movies where literally, like, nah, we're not even gonna do that. We're not even gonna do that. I'll even say some shit, some updated shit that y'all would know. When it comes to connection, moving, like if as a watcher, and I'm connecting with what's going on in the story, and I'm watching these two people fall in love, and it's supposed to be romantic and sexy and just beautiful. How is this like, even like, I'm watching this, and I'm watching all these scenes, and it's good. Again, great acting, great performances, great writing, great everything. That didn't, the romantic plot line in The Fifth Element, way better. That movie's an action movie, a science fiction action movie. The romantic plot line and the connections I saw between Lilu and Corbin Dallas was fucking way better. Stop right there. Yo, this is what I mean by the story being predictable and basic. I fucking knew in the beginning of the movie, before they revealed who the old man was, I was just like, is that Ryan Gosling's character? Is that him? Yes. The fuck? Movie not over. I knew that. That would have been a nice reveal. But it was, again, it's predictable. You know what I didn't see coming in Crazy Stupid Love? Emma Stone being Steve Carell's daughter. Ryan Gosling's in that. Their on-screen chemistry sucked. I'm not even going to get into that. But when I'm talking about story and all this other stuff, that's a romantic comedy. That's not even a romance. That's a romantic comedy. And that movie was just like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Whoa. I could see how, like, Steve Carell and his wife, the character, like, how they're going through this divorce, but they're still in love. And you kind of see two middle-aged people who have kids, and they're getting a divorce, and there's hurt and there's pain, and they're still like young kids being in love, running around their feelings, not being true, and all this stuff. Like, come on, fam. I'm really mad at every single. It wasn't all women, majority women, but just everybody. The guys, the girls who have told me from the age of 13 till now, The Notebook is like the great. If y'all watching this or y'all hearing this, and we've had this conversation, or you've told me to watch it, and I need to get my life together, and I don't know this and I don't know that. Now, all you guys owe me an explanation, because I watched it. I watched it with no bias. I was like, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this movie. I'm writing a romance. My fucking romance is better than this. My romantic screenplay, my romantic fucking screenplay, my movie is way better than this. Way better. Maybe no, not no maybes, bro. This shit is just better. Like no. Like again, this is a great movie. This is a great story. It's romantic as hell. It is. Where is the great? I want to know why it's the greatest. No one. No, I don't think anyone can really argue how it's the greatest. It's. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of other movies where it's just like, even if it's not a romance, the romance that takes place is just better, bro. What are you talking about? Oh my god. Being that the romance was on basically it's on the forefront. Like, it's a romance, right? It's a romantic story. It's an adaptation from a book. Great. I'm sure the book is better. You know what's crazy? And I'm sure the book is better. I'm sure the book is way better. You can argue that the book is the greatest fucking romantic story. Don't argue that this movie is the greatest romantic movie. No, it's not. Stop it. Cut it out. Like, seriously. Bro, True Romance. True Romance is a way better romantic movie. And Quentin Tarantino wrote that. True Romance is a way better movie. Way better romantic movie. See how I'm not saying it's the greatest, but I'm able to argue how? Like, look, watch. They put the romance and the connection between Patricia Arquette and Christian Slater, and we're watching this crime, right? It's Quentin Tarantino, so lots of people are dying. Crime is happening. And yet, like, you're just riding with this Bonnie and Clyde-esque character. You get what I'm saying? Like, it shit, and that shit is kind of basic. It's just a better movie. Like, it's a better romance movie. There's crime. We on the run. All of this. It's another romance movie. Nah, not Queen and Slim. Even though it was good. Not Queen and Slim. Nah. But again, I'm not here to argue that these movies that I'm saying are the greatest romance movies ever. I'm not saying that. Y'all said The Notebook is the greatest romance movie ever. And that's my issue. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. Now to get into the topic question. The topic question is, hold on, let me look at it. Is there a time in your life where you felt like your romance, whether short or long, or still going, because I you know what I mean, I love consistency, felt like a movie? You know what I mean? I've been ranting for a little bit, and I wanted to keep, let's get on a lighter mood, a lighter tone, because I got that out. If you disagree with me, go into the comments. Say what you got to say. All right? I'm active on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, prove me wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong. But again, I want to repeat myself because I've said this on my social media and people were just like, how is it a bad movie? I never said it was a bad movie. I enjoyed the movie. It's a very good movie. It's not the greatest romance movie ever. No, it is not. No, it is not. No, it is not. It's not. Okay? Romancing Stone is a better romance movie, and that's an action adventure. The romance in there is better. The fuck? No. Yeah, I mean, this is years of like being told that I'm crazy for not watching this movie. No, no. My spirit and my gut said, "Nigga, you ain't missing nothing," and I wasn't. Great movie. And here's the thing: I don't think Casablanca is up there, but Casablanca is more of like, yo, you gotta watch Casablanca before the Notebook. Shut up. Like, shut up. What are you talking about, bro? But I digress back to the question. I'll talk about a time. I'll talk about a time. I'm gonna leave the, honestly, because here's the thing. I'm a romantic guy. I love romance. I love love. I really do. Um, I'll talk about, because there's been, I would say, twice in my life, I felt like there was a point in time where my romance and my partner at the time, you know, it felt like a movie. But I'm gonna talk about one. I will not say any names. We ain't together, so there's that. But that's fine. Hope she's doing all right, and I wish her nothing but the best. And thank you for like these awesome ass memories that we had together, and I had with you. And but yeah, um, so summer 16 was like 2016. Like, I mean, based on today's standards, 2016 was not a bad year. But I remember everybody saying 2016 was like a crap year. Psh, looking back, it really wasn't. And I don't know about you, but summer 16 was, I don't know what you was doing. If you weren't outside, you missed out. Like, like, yo. And I wasn't single or nothing. I had an amazing time with my girlfriend at the time. And summer 16 was dope. Summer 16 was dope. Wait, when did we go? Was it 20? No, because and then, yeah, it was summer 16. So, uh, uh yeah, that was, it wasn't a summer fling. We were kind of like together already. But yeah, it was just that summer felt like a movie to me. And we just started it off with like, we went to in June. I think it was the end of I was still in college. The semester finished, wrapped up. Grades is on point. All my assignments are handed in. You know what I mean? I'm working. I'm making all right money. Just I'm good. I'm able to do things here and there. And uh, what's crazy? I'm not even gonna give away too many details, but it just started with like me and her. We had I had always at the time I had always wanted to go to Miami, and we had went to Miami, and it was just great. Bad shit even happened down there. Bad shit happened to us down there, but I'll never forget it when we went to Florida, because not only was I like a goal or a dream of mine was to like spend like some time in Miami and really take it in. I had only ever seen Miami on TV shows and films, and I've always wanted to go and experience that, and I never really did that up until my 20s and stuff. And this is like my mid 20s. I was like 24 at the time. 24, 25. So yeah, that summer romance was fun. I remember just, one thing I love to do is obviously go to the movies, popcorn, all of that. And I like to share that with someone, whether it be a friend, whether just someone I care about, someone I love. Films are my passion, and being able to sit back and enjoy a film with someone I love and care about is dope. And I remember we did that a lot. It was just dope. Like, I just remember like I just remember the summer sunsets, the walks on the beach, We went to like Reeves Beach back in New York. We went to Coney Island, I think. But I just remember that was just I don't have any bad memories from 2016, the summer of 2016, other than, at the time, obviously, like it was trash because bad shit happened in Miami. That shit followed me home. But honestly, like looking back, like I don't remember that. I remember just spending time with this person, and it was dope. It was dope. My last relationship was horrendous compared to this one, and I just remember it's crazy because it's like I'm it kind of relates to The Notebook. Like she was Rachel McAdams and I was Ryan Gosling, and it was lit that summer, yo. We had mad fun. We had amazing sex. It was just awesome, yo. Like it was dope. Like it was just summertime in Miami, summertime in New York. We was just in the city all the time. We was at Battery Park. We just did everything together, and it was just like, to me, if I playing it back as a memory, it's a movie to me. You get what I'm saying? That time was a movie to me. Yeah, yeah. That was my little notebook. You know what I'm saying? That was my summer. That's like The Notebook. Didn't record it. Didn't write no letters for a year. Didn't do anything like that because we remained together for some years after that. And things were, it was a relationship. Things were up, things were down. But I would never forget the summer I shared with my girlfriend at the time in 2016. That summer 16 was a great time, and that was the time my romance felt like a movie. So I say that to say, tell me what. Let's talk about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about a time that if you had a romance or just a time where whether the situation worked out or not, like. Even if the situation was bad, there must have been a time where that person made you feel like you was in a movie. Felt just great and romantic, and it was just like, oh, epic. You know what I mean? And just like The Notebook, wasn't the greatest as a whole. Still good. Or it could have been bad, but you're not going to sit here and say that shit was the greatest. Unless y'all are still together. But whatever. Before, this is going to be a short one today. That's what it's looking like. I'm looking at the time. It's going to be a short one. I'm not going to talk too long. But I said earlier that I'm writing a romantic script. I'm writing a romantic script. I'm writing a romance script. It's a screenplay. And I'll discuss it a little bit on here. If you know me, I don't really like to talk or reveal my work. But I want to get into a space of sharing my art, like my true art that I know like is unfinished. This isn't like a painting or drawing and things like that. And, other than my friends and family, I do feel like for my audience or listeners or whoever to understand what I'm trying to do and build. I started this podcast because I was at like a creative slump. That I will reveal at another time and another day of what got me to the point of that slump. But I was just like, you know what? I love film. I have a passion for it. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a writer. I'm an actor. Like, talk about it. I have so much, like, that's what I mean. Like, I have so much to pour out. Love it, hate it, critique it. Like, I'm not a film critic. That's one thing I'm not. I'm not a film critic. I'm just giving my honest take as a viewer, audience member, a fan, whatever, you know? Um, I love it. I love this. I love film. But to, getting back to what I was talking about, I'm writing a romance. And what I've noticed is there seems to be a formula, because it works, with certain genres, especially like in the film industry today. It's very profitable, all these other stuff. People enjoy them. And great. It's a formula and it works. And I believe in following the formula. But an artist like myself, like even if there's a formula, like you got to put your signature on it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like, what is it about your work that sets you up different from like anyone else purchasing another ticket and walking into a different theater to see a different movie? My story, my romance, I'm not going to reveal too much, but I'm going to talk about it. This is for the guys. This is for the fellas. I understand like numbers, data, analytics, these things. That's great. I'm an artist first. Like, I could give a fuck about the numbers when it's coming down to the raw creation of something. And yes, guys, we like action, sports, science fiction, horror, superheroes, and anti-hero. Like, yes. You know who else likes that? Women. Which means, like, sure, men won't admit it, but like, bro, men have spoken to me and argued to me why I should watch The Notebook. More than one. I've watched men enjoy like Letters to Juliet and Chocolat. Like, let me tell y'all right now, I'm going to say it. I love The Devil Wears Prada. I love that movie. That movie is a movie that's, I don't know what, a comedy. It's not a romantic comedy, but it's a comedy. But it's a comedy aimed for women and women audiences. Fuck that. That movie was amazing. Fuck is you talking about? Like, what? That movie's awesome as hell. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting here saying it's the greatest movie of all time. Am I? The greatest comedy movie of all time. Am I? But you should go watch it. That movie's amazing. If you're a man, if you've never seen The Devil Wears Prada, you should watch that movie. Okay? Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep. I don't need to say anything more. But yeah, I just feel like myself, there are lots of men out here who like things that are aimed for women, which I'm just like, yo, get the gender shit out of here. People are going to watch what they want to watch. You feel me? Like, rom-coms are aimed for women. Crazy Stupid Love, amazing. Like, what are we talking about? As a man, I sat down and enjoyed watching that movie. You know what I'm saying? It's a rom-com aimed for women. Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling are like the main characters. Like, what are we talking about? And I think why that movie worked is because they kind of went against the grain a bit, right? Like, rom-coms are like Kate Hudson and fucking Renee Zellweger and whatever the fuck ever. You get what I'm saying? Nah, bro. Like, shit be dope. If you have a good story, it don't matter who the fuck watches it. And mine ain't no romantic comedy. It's a romance, but in a drama in a sense, because there's mad dramatic shit happening. But this is for us. This is a romance for us. I'm a guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's for today's sake, we'll say I was a serial monogamous. I ain't in no relationship. I'm single. I'm out here, whatever. But, you know, when I'm in a relationship, and there was a time where I was just like, it was this relationship, that relationship, that relationship. And no, I'm out here with the serial monogamy. You know what I'm saying? You know, that was my past as up until this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm single. For the foreseeable future, I'm going to be single. But my romance, I'm aiming towards the men, and it's for us. And women can watch it. Y'all going to be pissed. Maybe not. You feel me? Like, I don't know. I'm not a woman. I don't know what your experiences are on the other side, but I'm writing this romance where um we're going to be talking about love, marriage, and my observation of not only seeing married couples and long-term relationship couples, but also myself and things that I know we talk about. Men, we talk when we with our guys and we hurt or we down bad or we got some desires, or you know what I'm saying? This is a movie that's like that. And, you know, I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it on the forefront about, like, why in certain situations and relationships, men may sway or go in another direction or wander. Um, you know, I'm kind of, no, I'm not kind of, I'm putting it out there, like, on how these things happen. And it's a romance because it's about love. It's about, the work of love. And the work of love ain't going to be, it's romanticized to a sense, but not really. I don't want to reveal too much, but I'll tell you right now, the title, I hope, I'm going to end the pod soon, but the title is called Quiet Desperations. Quiet Desperations. So let that sit. Ladies, let that sit. Take it in. I'm just, this is a romance movie from a man's perspective. That's all. And yeah, there's love, there's pain, it's sexy. It's sexy as fuck. I just want y'all to know that. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to share that, and I'm here sharing this because I want to get to a place with y'all, with my audience, with my listeners, and I really, participate, comment. Who knows? I could add some shit you may say, but I'm gonna be doing this a lot more where I'm sharing my work and sharing what I'm working on, and this pod allows me to just express myself in a creative manner, in a creative medium. And I'm one of those artists where just I just love to be around art and other creativity, and creativity builds on itself. It feeds. It's this infinite thing, I believe, this infinite power and energy that I just always felt my entire life, and I just want to keep it going. I don't want outside and adulting and these things that get in the way of me being that kid again, I want to make that kid proud. You know what I mean? Looking back, and because he deserves it. He was JP in the in his truest form. You grow up, you adjust, you adapt, but getting back to true self is I think we're all kind of chasing, because true self is freedom. We all, maybe not all of us, but the majority of us could say, like, yo, when I was like being a kid, a happy kid, like, that's freedom. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everybody's childhood was great and amazing and this and the third, but you found whatever you needed to find as a child to experience your truth, to express your true self, be in your true self, and just be free. You get what I'm saying? And I think with me doing this podcast, with me sharing my work on this podcast, whether it's seeds of like what I just did with my romance script and how I'm making a romance movie for men, and women could watch it. I'm dropping some gems. It's sexy. It's love. It's drama. It's betrayal. It's reconciliation. It's all the things. It's everything that the formula, but with a twist. You get what I'm saying? Think of it as a cocktail that you know the name of, but then like the bartender puts his stamp, his own signature on it. You know what I mean? Like that's how I'm doing it. So yeah, but that kind of wraps up today's episode. It's a short one. I just needed to get that off my chest. Honestly, like I just want to say, Nicholas Sparks, who wrote the book and the film, The Notebook. Great work, great story. I loved it. I love the performances. I love the characters. But y'all that keep, and again, I'm not mad at the filmmaker. I'm not mad at none of that. All y'all that told me this is the greatest romance movie ever, if you ain't got that, like, stop. Just stop. We're just gonna stop. Can we just enjoy the movie and be like, oh, it's one of the best romance movies? You can say it's one of the best. One of the best. I'll even give you that. It's one of the best. We're not gonna sit here and say that shit is the greatest, bro. Stop it. Cut it out. I could give you mad for other, like, let's just stop it right there. So for the sake of the culture, let's just enjoy the movie. Let's not put so much pressure on it, raising it to these standards, bro. Let's not do that. Let's not. But yeah, that wraps up today's pod. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.